You can join Midlands 103 for our third annual Green Home and Energy Show, proudly sponsored by Electric Ireland Super Homes and featuring special guest RTE's Hugh Wallace. So mark your calendar for Sunday, 23rd of February from 11am to 4pm at the Tullamore Court Hotel. Whether you're building, renovating or simply interested in sustainable living, this event is your chance to explore the latest in green home innovations, experience insightful talks, interactive exhibits, and connect with experts in the field. With over 3,800 attendees last year, this is the perfect opportunity to discover new ideas and sustainable solutions for your home. Definitely one not to miss. One of those said experts that will be featured at the show is Ciarán Darcy from Ciarán Darcy Kitchens in Dangan. Morning, Ciarán.
Ronan, how are you getting on? How are you?
Fantastic. You're giving me loads of tips already during the break there about how I can actually give my wife the kitchen that she's looking for, but we'll come back to that in a few minutes. I suppose kitchen trends. People are used to watching TV, watching home renovation programs as well. Probably seen some amazing kitchens and also some very practical kitchens to fit smaller spaces. But what's popular at the minute? What are people really looking for in their kitchens now?
Yeah, and Ronan, funny, but it nearly depends where you go. Like if we were, say, measuring, which there's two of us every day out on the road measuring and pricing and doing CAD drawings and all that type of thing. But if you go into cities and towns, it tends to be a kind of a more contemporary kitchen that they're looking for. And say if you head out to the country area more, I'd still say it's somewhat contemporary, but it would have a little bit more of a traditional feel to it. Nowadays, people don't want a lot of detail, where years ago there'd be frilly pelmets over windows and there'd be open units and there'd be glass units and there'd be little open quads wherever the kitchen run would finish. You'd have a little quad with gallery rail that kids used to love to use as a ladder to stand up on to get up on the worktop and all that. But kitchens are gone more just clean lines, simple, and just less fuss basically, and easy to keep kind of clean as well, Ronan.
So is that like less moulded details on the doors, more of that kind of flush?
Yes.
Everything's in behind.
Now you said it, yeah. And like even raised panels, which is a simple enough door, a single raised panel door on a fitted kitchen, is nearly too much detail now for people, where they want what we call a micro shaker or skinny shaker. So it's basically a picture frame is what it looks like. It has a rail around the outside and a flat just centre panel. That's what I would call a kind of contemporary with a little bit of traditional kitchen in it. And then you can go to the other extreme, like what you just said there. People want nothing else, just a flat, plain slab door. And then some people don't even want a handle on the door, which would be very popular. It's called a J handle or a strada door. So there's a groove cut into the top of the door on the kitchen, and that's how you open it. There's no handle required at all.
In terms of the materials that people are seeking then, has material technology moved on as well, that people are looking for maybe wrapped or laminated stuff as opposed to traditional hardwoods?
Yeah, well, no, one of our most popular doors would be a solid ash painted door. So it actually would have an MDF centre panel, and because it's so skinny, it would be impossible to do it in solid. It'd be too brittle. But the outside frame then would always be done in solid ash. But no, that or MDF would mainly be the two doors that would be used. And then I suppose, Ronan, when it comes to worktops, then it's your traditional Formica worktop. Then there's a kind of a step up. It's still a Formica worktop, but it comes with a square nose, a square edge on the front of it. So it kind of looks very much like quartz or granite. Or else then there is the quartz or granite, which would have a matching upstand. People tend to not tile anymore up over the worktop, so they'd have a little upstand. Some people might call it a little kicker that comes up off the worktop, and you do your window board and a higher backsplash then behind the hob. And then, like in a 2 or 3 years' time, if people wanted to kind of just give it a bit of a new life, then you can paint what's above the upstand, and it makes the whole job look completely different.
Of course, one thing that often comes out, you see, with newer kitchens or when people upgrade kitchens is it's like the little gizmos and gadgets, those little hints and tricks for really maximising space. I'd say loads of people listening have a corner press that they don't know what's in 3/4 of it as well. And you put a lot of focus into that, I believe.
Yeah, and because it's hilarious. And if you think about it, if you don't find something in about 6 or 7 seconds in the press, you are not going to bother keeping looking for it. And it's only when twice a year you say, I'm going to give this press a bit of a clear out, you find this stuff that's maybe 4 or 5 months or maybe 4 or 5 years in some stage out of date. So yeah, people want nowadays, they want all sorts of pull-out mechanisms. There's blind corner pull-outs. Some people call them lazy Susans, Le Mans. There's the full pull-out larder, so you could have a press maybe 400 or 500 mil wide, and the full height, and this comes out as one big pull-out larder. Other people might want separate pantry drawers, so as that when you open that, you open the door, hinge it as normal, and then you pull out your 4 or 5 pantry drawers. Rather than what the pull-out larder is, you pull the door out, and this big mechanism comes with it. What's nearly standard procedure now is a pull-out bin, where back 7 or 8 years ago that was nearly unheard of. But now people don't want a pedal bin sitting on their floor in the kitchen, so they want a 400 mil or 500 or even 600 pull-out bin. Pop-up sockets in islands, so if you want to use a laptop or anything like that, or charge a phone, that there's a power point there. You see, as another thing as well, Ronan, now that you have Facebook and Pinterest and all this stuff online, people are researching this so much, and they know what they want. So it's not like where it was 20 years ago. If you went in, people just wanted presses and doors and worktops and handles and more wall units and all that kind of stuff, where now people are coming and meeting us really with a folder of information of pull out this and pop up that and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because it's a huge investment, and it's such a focal point of all houses. Really, if you're going to do it right, as the old song says. And of course, when it comes to appliances though too, in the past you had that magic triangle: sink, cooker, fridge.
Yeah.
Now sure, people have bread makers, air fryers. You know, the amount of actual electronic devices and kits in the kitchen is huge. So you also have to incorporate all that in.
All that sort of stuff. Like there does be even an appliance garage, which is like a big double door press, where all that George Foreman's and air fryers, all this sort of stuff, and built-in coffee machines. And in a lot of places, people would put a boiling water tap even into their appliance garage, or into their, say, bifold pantry unit. And again, it's all that they've so much research done on it. Like even going back to that boiling water tap, research has showed that it's actually a good investment, because 3.4 times apparently is the amount of times that you'll hit the button on the kettle before you'll actually go and make that cup of tea, because you'll go off and do something else, where a boiling water tap will save an awful lot of energy and money and cost and electricity and all that kind of stuff. Like even with these kitchens now, what I see is a bank of tall units. So people would like maybe ask me to do a secret walkthrough into their utility room, or there could be a little walk-in pantry room, and I'd have to run tall units across the front of that, so it looks like it's a double door larder or pantry, but when you open them 2 doors, the kickers come with it, and you actually walk into a secret room, which can be a utility or a pantry or anything. And it just makes it so much more contemporary as well, and that you're not looking at another internal door going down into another room.
What are typically the biggest mistakes people make when they're planning a new kitchen?
Well, I try and make sure that there's no mistake, to be honest with you, Ronan, because what we do is we would do contemporary drawings and a nice, and not costing any money, what's more. So we would do full CAD drawings. People would call to the workshop, and I would make sure that they would see these, and if there's any changes they want to make, so you'll see it. We do, like, the drawings is the whole secret. So that you see exactly what's happening before it goes in. So there's no point something scribbled down in the back of a book and say, listen, that's what the kitchen's going to be like. So we would do really, really nice CAD drawings. And then any changes they want to make, no hassle whatsoever. So they actually know exactly what they're going to get before it goes in, Ronan. And the same with anything else we do. Like we do wardrobes, hinge door wardrobes, sliding wardrobes, sitting room units, office retail units, office furniture. Feature wall in the sitting room has become very, very popular, where people might put in a great big telly, built-in flush, and possibly an electric fire underneath, and take in the full width of their sitting room wall. So they've become really popular as well. But to see it on a drawing, I think, is very important, and for them to visit the showroom and have a look at the colours, and let there be no mistake. Let them see the handle, and then if they want to go off and buy tiles or paint walls, that we'll give them a sample of what they've picked out, and so there's no surprises on the day of fitting. I just see over the years it's very, very important that you give all this information to the customer, and they know what they're getting.
You'll be exhibiting anyway at the Green Home and Energy Show on the 23rd of February. People can spin by you. How else can they find out more about Ciarán Darcy Kitchens?
Roland, we're on Facebook and Instagram as well. If you want to email us, you can email us at darcykitchens@gmail.com. And on the day of the show, we have a €500 voucher. This is the third year in a row to give away of your next purchase with Ciarán Darcy Kitchens. There's loads of goodies for the kids, and there's pens and catalogues, and we'll have all work that we have done recently on a reel there shown. We'll have loads of different types of doors, worktops, handles, everything that you'd see in a kitchen. We'll bring it to the show. Because at the end of the day, Ronan, like, everything we do is not a big, expensive kitchen. We'd often go in to measure a house, and the people would make it very clear we're on a very tight budget here. So there's something to suit everybody, no matter how big or how small the kitchen or wardrobe or sitting room unit or anything that you want to put in.
Ciarán Darcy Kitchens, thank you for that as well. As I say, you can catch Ciarán on the 23rd of February in the Tullamore Court Hotel at the Green Home and Energy Show. Time for a quick break. After that, we'll talk all things pellet stoves.